And we are live. No cold open this time, apparently, because I'm an idiot who forgot all about that.
Or lazy, I don't know.
I couldn't think of anything fast enough. I was slow today.
So
Thinking on your toes is for
ballet dancers. So yeah, we're a bit early today because Geo has other plans, and we wanted to do a stream anyway. Anyways, he's here, and so is R&D, and so is Smelly. Yeah.
Hello.
People.
Hello.
Yeah, all the relevant people and Smelly are here.
Did we even bother to invite Chocolate Hat? I feel like we think about it.
Well, I don't know how to invite him, so
I do. I'm gonna try.
Okay, good, because I never know how to get a hold of him.
Yeah,
I'll send him a message and
He sent me a message like a week ago, but it didn't make any sense, so I'm not sure if it was actually meant for me or not.
it didn't make any sense, or it was written in Welsh, because they're both the same thing.
No, it definitely made no sense. And to top it off, let's see. I wasn't sure if it was one of those like what did he say? Hi, how's things? Take a look at this festival happening near me. Oh yeah, he sent me a link. You just need to look at the first speaker and see that's fun. So there's a festival going on near Chocolate Hass's place of residence.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it was meant for you.
No. So yeah, so that's my tangent. I'm done now.
Oh, beautiful.
That's probably the shortest tangent we've ever had on the show.
Yeah, I was about to say short, sweet, to the point.
I gotta get efficient about these tangents.
Yeah. So, why? Actually, let's say replay and let this website introduce itself.
Is there sound?
No.
Non-religious, I have my doubts.
Okay, good luck running the internet on a Mac.
Also, this, like, how fast are they expecting people to read?
Oh, so we're gonna learn more about this new drug.
I'm pretty sure that they already lost 90% of their constituency by saying that they're non-religious, considering that most of the people who search for that material are probably from Alabama.
Mm-hmm. I bet they're religious. I bet that non-religious thing is bullshit.
I just hope this new drug is something like acid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid not. It's porn.
What?
What? You're kidding.
That's not how porn works.
No, you just inject it directly into your veins.
How is he watching porn if he's projecting light onto the screen?
I think the light is projecting onto his eyes.
Do you know the feeling when you're watching porn and you come in at the same time as the horse?
Wow.
So apparently his laptop is beaming porn directly into his eyes, and judging by the color, is probably golden shower porn.
Oh no. It probably is.
So apparently porn can impact a lot of things.
Your rate of sexual assault.
Now,
What?
they're not actually making statements here. They're asking questions. Oh, wait. No, they're answering at the
They're
bottom.
saying yes.
They're answering it.
They're answering it for us.
They have all the answers. Dive deeper.
Oh no!
Oh.
Can he make a diva joke?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that's the wrong words to use here.
Phrasing.
Oh,
Yeah.
they have a documentary. What?
Oh, no. I love it. Is it a
Yeah, there's
YouTube
probably
video?
I don't know.
I
I'll
found
look at that
new.
screenshot of their iPhone.
Brain,
demo.
heart, world. What?
I have no clue.
Discovering the harmful effects of pornography.
Look at this brain being DJ. What? Cartwheel.
All of these things have something to do with porn.
I touched the Jello brain.
There's a man.
Doctor.
He's bald,
Man.
so you know what he's saying is super serious.
Butterflies.
Oh,
You could
token black lady.
God damn it.
Token Asian guy.
token blurry people. Like, you could put anything on top of this. Like, this could be a music video.
This looks like an iPhone commercial.
It
This is
kinda
like a
does,
video
yeah.
for that game system that failed.
Which one?
What it
Which
was
one?
called. The handheld game system.
The taco one?
Which
The
one?
The one that looked like a sideways taco.
No.
One that looked like a
The
sideways.
Gizmondo?
Oh, the Gizmondo, yeah.
I mean, a sideways taco is a fairly appropriate thing
No,
to
that's-
bring up in this context.
Yeah, that's good. I wish we could hear the audio because I'd like to watch
There is
it.
no audio.
No. Play. It says play trailer on the thing.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I think we
I was
gotta.
saying I wish we had audio because we could watch it.
Yeah, I gotta have to like fix that at some point.
So they use Sprint by judging by this screenshot they've placed. They use Sprint. It was
don't know.
421. They had just blazed.
It was the N-Gage.
And look at that screenshot
Oh,
right.
that one. Nokia Engage.
Yeah, Nokia N-Gage.
I remember
That was
that.
the taco.
2004,
That was the taco one.
I think, was really weird fucking time.
Yeah.
I need to
let's
Google
see.
from when the Nokia Engage was.
Well, they told us to learn more, so let's learn more. Oh, the learn more literally just takes us like down to the next thing. That's all. That's all that button does.
Wait, but we got to dive deeper. Wait,
Yes, dive deeper. A quick overview. An interactive, research-based introduction highlighting porn's negative impacts on individuals, relationships, and society breaking. Someone doesn't know how to use hyphens. And society breaking the issue to the basics. Issue down to the basics. I think they were supposed to like and society dash breaking down the issue. Like, I don't think it's supposed to be one word, but that's what it is.
it's society breaking. Maybe it should have been a double hyphen.
Ooh,
Pornography effects on the heart.
it's interactive. Look at all the
Oh.
interactive action.
Harsh. Oh man, are you telling me everything's a video on this website?
Oh,
Looks like none of it has sound though, right?
this has
Nope.
sound.
This has sound. Oh.
God damn it, Micro.
It's okay, we'll narrate it. A brain was flying around some server.
They had closed captionings.
Oh,
There we go. There we go.
Sweet.
Solution.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Recently, a supercomputer. I can't read fast enough though. That's too much. So in 1 whole second of human brain. How long did it take the computer to accomplish this task? 40 minutes. That might seem like a long time. It's like almost 1 second of brain activity. Amounts to something like, I want a sandwich, but your brain transmits more messages than the people vocals across the world, sitting through a non-stop flow of input from eyes, ears, and other senses. Even if you're just making a sandwich. Consider the brain 50 billion neurons. 1 trillion glial sands. 4 miles of blood vessels. Dedicated to making an enjoyable life
Wait, no,
possible.
they're
for you.
not.
Yeah, no, that's the only reason your brain exists. Your brain is designed to give whatever it takes to survive. Your brain is also wired for companionship. No, it's not. With neurochemicals as a response to intimacy, well, that part's true. Pornography images on create in that moment, the brain's powerful machinery kicks into gear, bonding us in different ways to images on screen. There's actually some cool studies. Oh, pause, because there's actually some really cool studies on that, mostly with male ejaculate and how humans will. Gosh, now I get to talk about psychology stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
So like a lot of animals, what they'll do is depending on how often how likely they are to meet up with a mate, they'll change how they produce semen when it comes to males.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of them will produce very little or like Not very little, but they'll produce kind of like short bursts of it when they're gonna see a lot. They have potential to a lot of mates, so they kind of like hear shotgun shots of sperm when they mate. But then if they're gonna have like long times between mates, they'll actually kind of hoard a lot of their semen and then kind of pour it all at once into one mate to sort of increase the likelihood of that one mate actually becoming pregnant. So it's different strategies for mating. And humans do this too. Human males do this too. So, but we actually do it like kind of on the go. And what happens is if you're actually you're less like after sex with your partner, your next ejaculation is going to be much smaller. And you're also your ejaculation when having sex with a partner is much bigger than when not, and it's also much smaller when watching porn. So you don't actually ejaculate as much when you watch porn than when you have sex.
Huh.
Science.
That's neat.
Semen.
And now we know what kind of porn R&D watches.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I gotta look up studies on this because this stuff's fascinating.
Nah, what are we talking about? R&D jacks off to studies about fucking technology.
Yeah.
He's got a stack of case studies hidden between his mattresses. Oh yeah, just tell me about the neurons. Oh, one more time.
Actually, I haven't read any studies on pornography in a while, so I should. that little tidbit I only remember from class.
Not since you got married.
Yeah. Let's see. Just a quick search into the data set. Let's see. Individual differences of women's pornography use, perceptions of pornography, and unprotected sex. And it's from South Korea. Oh, this sounds fun. Investigating the association of adult ADHD symptoms, hypersexuality, and problematic pornography use among men, women on large-scale non-clinical sample. There's a lot of cool stuff here.
Well,
I might spend the rest of my time here just reading about porn.
Well, let's find out what they have to say.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Well, don't pull a sniper wolf. Just read the porn. Don't react to it.
There we go. More hardcore fusions. You feel more just like a mood-altering drugs. The amazing brain, in other words, can be hijacked. Image after image, your expectations of sex, love, and relationship can evolve. With your sexual preferences changing dramatically as you continue to seek out more shocking content. That's got to be a lie.
Oh yeah, show me the video of those two holding hands. Oh, that's so hot. That's too hot for YouTube.
So other fun studies about sex and stuff. God, this is fascinating. As it turns out, millennials are having less sex than boomers, and Gen Xers and whatever other generations came before us. And
Yeah,
it's got
guess why that is?
because of social media and higher interacting with computers and phones and stuff.
Actually, I think it's because we all have realized how fucked up our society is, and we just don't want it to continue.
I mean, that's also possible. We are also having less children. Go millennials.
It's time to protest the Trojan factory.
No, we don't need to protest it. We need to encourage them.
Well, there was
talking
a
about
demonstration scheduled there, a protest scheduled there, but nobody came.
Oh.
No. They tried. They all tried to come, but they were stopped. There was someone
kept me on the edge.
There was like someone built like a wall around the factory so they couldn't get there, and also the roads were very slippery that day.
Okay, let's just keep going. There's going to be tons of porn jokes in this one, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
It's obvious. For all of us, there are lots of ways to help that happen. The only question that remains is the pathways you'll choose for yourself. So choose reality, choose love. You were born with a machine in your head, the most powerful. Oh, then the holy shit! All right,
So far, if it continues this way, then computers will probably be faster than human brains by the end of this century at most.
Yeah.
It's way likelier that it's gonna happen earlier.
So that didn't really like all they said. Oh, the brain is amazing.
Yeah, it didn't really tell me why I shouldn't watch porn
No.
all that much.
Oh no, it's because you have to choose reality. You have to choose love because it turns out porn is actually not real. It's an illusion.
Well, then R&D told me that whenever I jack off, I don't produce as much cum, and I mean that's not good
Yeah.
for anal bukkake. So I don't know what's going on here.
Studies have found that the frequency of porn use correlates with depression, anxiety, stress, and social problems. Could that be? I'm just gonna take a guess here. Could that be because the people with those problems are using the porn
As a way to feel better.
as a way to feel better?
Yeah, it's the other way around, isn't
Yeah.
it? And I guess every one of us four is talking from experience here. No?
Wait, what? No, I'm just kidding. I heard everything. No. It's just kind of obvious. Porn. Studies have found the frequency of porn use correlates with. Oh, god damn! Really, they're just going to repeat themselves? Put a different graphic next to it; it'll be different.
Yeah. Wait. What?
Go to
You got
learn more.
And then the blood vessel one. Put it one under one. There are clear differences in the brain activity between patients who have compulsive sexual behavior and healthy volunteers.
Yeah. You notice the word compulsive.
Yeah, like that's a specific.
That's the argument here is essentially the same as saying that because there are differences in the brains of people who binge eat, who have an eating disorder, and healthy people, we shouldn't eat food.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yep.
In a study done between people with OCD and normal people.
In a study between serial killers and non-serial killers.
Yeah, that's the tone I feel like they're taking.
Oh, that's
Well, obviously you don't want to be a serial killer, do you, Smelly?
I mean, I don't know.
Some days you want to change your mind.
Oh, look at that dancing kite.
Let's see
I wish I could cut its string and watch it cry.
Oh, hold on.
Oh wait, gotta remember to put on the clothes.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn off the sound because if you start reading it because I just get confused.
In the 13th century, the Emperor Frederick II decided to conduct an experiment. He wanted to know what language children would speak on their own if no one ever taught them any. He assigned nurses to 50 babies, telling them to feed and bathe the children in absolute silence. No speaking, no eye contact, no lullabies or cuddles. Oh, so what language did they speak? Frederick found that, or never found out.
Yeah, I was about to say they're all gonna die.
Wait,
oh shit! I was so entranced by the graphic that I forgot to keep.
What are they trying to say? Are they trying to say that if you don't use your genitals properly, they're gonna fall off?
No. They're essentially making it like a.
Well, they're also. Go ahead.
Like they're essentially saying that look, humans have eaten. Humans are social animals, and we need intimacy and connection. So
what a brave statement.
Therefore porn is bad.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They're also asserting here that the heart does things like emotions.
Yeah, they kind of are.
Which is false. It's completely not the way things work.
Oh yeah, he's sitting in that dark room all alone.
Oh, I hope he has tinted glasses on so he doesn't get eye strain.
I mean, you could just turn the light on.
I think that only applies to CRTs.
No, you have to sit in a dark room when you watch porn.
I mean, it's kind of a requirement.
Yeah.
Regarding this eye strain on CRTs, that's actually not because of the CRT itself. It's because of the flickering of the CRT.
Oh.
That's why when you sit close to CRT, the angular speed of the electron ray of the dot that's actually glowing on the CRT from your vantage point is actually higher, which means that the flickering looks worse, which will actually over time give you a headache.
I just knew it gave you headaches, and I didn't think the same phenomena was associated with flat panels because I'd never actually heard that. But I knew the whole
flat panels don't do it.
Yeah, I knew the whole glasses thing was a CRT issue.
Yeah, it's the electron ray. The fact that actually only one single point of the CRT is illuminated at any given time, and that just rushes across the stream in terms of angular speed faster the closer you sit to it.
Speaking of old computers, I found an Amiga Commodore at a secondhand shop, and they wanted $80 for it, and I almost regret not getting it.
It is actually on the cheap side.
Yeah, it really is, because on eBay they're going for like $250 to $300 right now.
Yeah, obviously. Did you check that it works?
No, I couldn't. They didn't have all the power supply parts, but you could get those online very easily. But they didn't have them with a little bundle. They had the keyboard and floppy deck. They had the monitor for it, which is another thing you don't often see. They had a stack
but you don't really need it. The Amiga actually was compatible to IBM monitors, if I remember correctly.
But you know, when you buy something like that, it's not a necessity that you get all the original parts, but it's cool, and it had a lot of discoloration, but I mean that could be easily taken care of.
Yep, hydrogen peroxide.
Yep.
I did this with my C64. Works
But what I'm
perfectly.
thinking about doing is going back next week because I mean it would be easy to do the repairs on the boards if there are any, because there's a few people you can get parts from now. But you know that's besides the point. Let's get back to jacking off and why it's terrible for you.
Yes.
Or jilling off. Let's be inclusive here.
Huh. So I just found a fun study.
Oh.
That's what I've been doing.
That's better than this terrible video.
Starting
Yeah.
time with R&B.
So I haven't finished the whole study, but it sounds kind of neat. It's a diegetic approach to pornography use and relationship satisfaction among heterosexual couples.
Did you say Dianetic?
Diegetic.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Didactic.
Didactic?
I don't know. Yes, didactic. Sure.
I thought you said Dianetic though, and you know that
I know.
I'm not sure I know what that word means.
Dianetics. Dianetics
I know what Dianetics is.
Okay.
The actual word.
Didactic.
I mean, didactic is teach something like teach.
It's like a statistical approach, if I remember right. To
Okay, then it's probably not didactic because didactic is like teaching.
A diet is a group of two people, the smallest possible social group.
Oh, okay.
As an adjective, didactic describes their interaction.
Okay, that makes sense.
So an interaction between two people.
Okay, in the couples, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, in couples.
And
So
what does it say?
mostly, what are the results? Our results showed that associations between pornography use and relationship satisfaction differ by one's level of pornographic acceptance and anxious attachment. In partial support for hypothesis 1, the negative association between pornography use and relationship satisfaction was lessened for those who were more accepting of pornography.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so if you have a couple and you're more accepting of pornography, you actually are happier together in your pornography use.
Huh.
Yeah.
So it's like any share.
Yeah.
Baby, I just love watching this chick get nailed with you. It's the best.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there we go. Fun things. I got to read all these studies so that I actually know what I'm talking about, not just the results. But all right,
Yeah, you can do that on another.
it's
stream.
true.
This is taking a look at. We don't have to be correct.
That's true. Splice claims the cone will make you better lover. Study after study confirms the opposite. I just read one that doesn't, so fuck off. Become more partial, less able to perform sexually.
They're being snapped away by fans.
You know, one of the things my sister, I think my sister pointed this out to me, is we're gonna spoil Endgame now for all three of you watching the video.
It's a good thing I don't care about watching it.
There you go. So there's a 5-year time gap between the first movie and the second movie.
Ooh,
So
intrigue.
I know, intrigue, right? So whatever. 5 years ago, the snap happens, and your wife or your girlfriend gets snapped away, and then you move on and like get married or move on to another relationship, and then the Avengers fix everything and bring back your old wife / old girlfriend. The fuck are you supposed to do there?
Oh yeah.
Like that, I would love a movie about that. I would love a movie about all the couples who had to figure out this shit about like, oh shit, you're back now. I thought you were dead. I started a new family. Because I bet that happened.
I'd like to see a movie where Jake Gyllenhaal plays a detective who solves crimes with a different Pokemon. We'll just keep this detective whatever thing going. We'll just replace them.
And he plays a completely new character each time.
Oh shit. Okay, so
But wouldn't that be the same plot as in Castaway?
is Hollywood really original anymore? I mean,
No.
It's
But let's be honest, stories haven't really changed since the Gilgamesh epic.
It's true.
And that was, what, 3,000 years ago?
so now it's not really about who has the most, like, unique story. Now it's who has the most interesting story. Who can tell it the most interesting way.
Well, that's been the thing forever. Like they used to do what is it? The Odyssey? Not the Odyssey, no. Oedipus Rex. Oedipus Rex used to be like one of those like there's this one scene in Oedipus Rex where like Oedipus finds out that he's been sleeping with his mom and he killed his dad, and this one scene has like theaters used to perform this one scene to see who could perform it the best and who could like do the best version of this one scene over and over again. It's great. So there's like a billion different versions of Oedipus Rex because of this, because everyone wants to try their hand and see if they can do it better than the last year's play. So yeah, we've been doing it forever. We've been bastardizing stories forever. It's fine.
Now let's see some people who bastardize reality.
Oh,
Creationists?
Close.
Flat Earthers.
Stick around in a relationship. Also,
Stick around, get it?
In addition to back in who we love and how we see them, it changes how we're able to actually express that love. So think twice about giving your heart to something without a pulse. Sure, machines can meet all sorts of physical needs. A furnace can keep you warm, a respirator can keep you breathing, but no machine can ever satisfy your basic need to bond with another human being. I want to see a divorce between someone and the respirator. Like, honey, I know you're keeping me alive and all, but I think I have to go see other people now. You're just not satisfying me in the same way you used to.
Holy shit! Upbeat music.
Yeah.
This really feels like it's an old person going like basically like ranting about how the young people nowadays, with all their porn. Back in my day,
we used to jerk off to the side of the Campbell soup can. Walk uphill both ways to school.
Hold on.
Jacking off even.
Have you ever like okay, I know that there are people like just with anything, people can get addicted to anything, and things can become a problem in their lives.
Okay, I challenge you to become addicted to something that I choose.
No, that's not how this works.
I smell a setup.
No, so like excluding them because they have a problem of some kind that needs to be dealt with. But like, have you ever met anyone or experienced anyone where like porn caused you or them to not be able to like express love for another person? Like, I don't see this happening unless there's something wrong.
No, I guess the only thing that happens when you get addicted to it is that you get bruises. And you need to apply some hand cream every now and then.
That's why lube exists.
Awkward.
We ran out of jokes.
Okay, so this.
I mean, yeah.
So does this website have actual articles, or are we just gonna, as much as I like videos?
Well, I mean, it does have. We can read. Let's see. Learn more.
How porn affects the brain.
Oh, how this is all literally like when you click on learn more. This is literally just what you get.
Oh, this is great.
Well,
Did
they
you
have
guys-
their sites down at the bottom.
Yeah. Well, no. One was a study. The other one is a book.
It's a book. I thought it was an article.
Well,
Journal of Pediatrics and Child Health.
oh, okay. I guess it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's just that the title felt very much like a book title.
The title
But
of the book,
I guess
yeah.
it is. Okay, yeah, I guess it is a study. That will teach me to read.
And over your internet addiction in child health.
All right. So who's reading first?
Me.
Okay.
Although porn consumption promises to help individuals relax and relieve their stress, a growing number of studies have found that porn consumption is actually linked to poor mental health outcomes. This link is particularly strong when porn consumers engage in a pattern of self-concealment, which is when they do things they are not proud of and keep them a secret from their friends and family members.
So
For
tell your family about your porn use.
Yeah, for example, like Rhetoric&Discourse, who actually does like Windows computers. This pattern not only hurts their relationships and leaves them feeling lonely, it also makes them more vulnerable to emotional and psychological problems. For both male and female porn users, their habit is often accompanied by problems with anxiety, body image issues, poor self-image, relationship problems, insecurity, and depression.
And we can show all of this with two studies. One of which is an overview
of those things, and not a cause. Like we said earlier, I have poor body image issues. That means I'm not getting laid. That means I'm watching porn.
Yeah.
Seems more like an effect instead of a cause.
I feel like they're also getting it backwards a lot of things when they talk about like oh, go back to it. I was kind of reading a thing.
Oh. Sorry.
Here, I will be right back.
Oh, and I forgot my thought.
Sorry.
Oh, the self-concealment part. There we go. Like, so much of that is like a societal problem. Like, if we weren't so fucking embarrassed about it,
yeah.
Like it wouldn't like the problem isn't the porn itself, it's the fact that we make porn a bad thing, and therefore it's the hiding of porn. It's like that thing. There's so many studies on this on like every marginalized group ever about like how people will say this all the time, like trans individuals have like the highest suicide rate ever. And people are like, see, being trans is bad. You're more likely to kill yourself. It's like, no, bitch. It's because everyone shits on trans people and they want to commit suicide because society is awful to them, not because being transsexual or transgender is awful. Like you're putting the cart before the horse. You're getting this all backwards.
Yeah, you can find the same argument being made about pretty much any marginalized group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's stupid.
Yeah, so same thing. Yeah. If you, it's less about the porn itself. It's more about the fact that the porn that we say that porn is bad, and then people try to hide it, and there's anxiety behind trying to hide the fact that they like porn or whatever.
When the truth is that pretty much everyone likes porn.
Everybody watches porn. Everybody likes porn. It's fine.
Yeah, not entirely everyone, but
yeah. You know what I mean. I'm generalizing, but yeah.
Well, I'm trying to avoid that. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Oh God, somebody just commented, Crypto457. This site claims it's not religious, and yet I see the grubby semen-stained fingerprints of Jesus all over the site.
How porn affects the brain. German researchers recently found that there's an association between the number of hours of pornography someone consumes each week and less gray matter in their brains. Gray matter is the darker tissue of the brain and spinal cord, consisting mainly of nerve cell bodies and branching dendrites. It is associated with decision making and intelligence. What? Okay, that's not how decision making and intelligence works.
Also sounds like it's most of your brain. Also, your brain isn't split up in the way that pop culture makes you think your brain is split up.
No, it's not.
It's your brain is very global.
And
there's some sections that are kind of more activity during certain things, but your brain is very global.
Yeah. Well, also gray matter, gray and white matter, a bit. It's if you have so the white matter is all the axons. So I'm not sure what they're trying. They're trying to say
the axon again. That's the.
That's
the upper part, right? The one that's not the cable, where the connections between the cells are, right?
Kind of.
Because I always mix them up. It's the head of the cell. The one with the. Oh, fuck! I have to Google it.
So
axon.
Signals comes in through dendrites, and then you have the cell body, and then
it's the part between the nucleus and the other end.
The axon.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, so dendrites in, axons out for the most part.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. With isolating cells around it, right? At least in vertebrates.
Well, yeah, with astrocytes and oligodendrites around them. But again, this doesn't this just means that people with poor decision making are more likely to spend more time watching porn. This not they haven't actually shown that you lose brain and it's saying you lose brain cells by watching porn.
Mm-hmm. So, and they worded it kind of that way because they said there's an association between the number of hours pornography someone consumes each week and less gray matter. That's not a causational association. They just said an association. It's not saying that more pornography causes less gray matter. There's just an association between. There's the correlation between the two. That's it. So there isn't a cause here necessarily, and the study might actually say that.
I have a feeling they're not necessarily cherry picking the study, but
they're manipulating what it says to fit what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not so much taking what they're saying and like completely flipping the words around. They're just taking like people's assumptions of what these words would mean and using that to their advantage instead of actually being like, hey, this doesn't say this, it actually says this. They just take the words and let people assume from it on their own. It's like saying, not everybody in your neighborhood is a murderer. Now you're gonna be thinking, well, fuck, who's the murderer? Like, I didn't actually tell you there's a murderer, but it immediately gets you to a point where you're assuming that somebody you know is gonna kill you.
That was not a murderer. It's clearly shown that all the victims shot themselves in the back with a sniper rifle 3 times.
It's a well-known angle. It's a well-known method of suicide.
It's very simple.
The back of the head blows with a sniper rifle. Yeah.
Let's see what else we have.
More brain bits.
All the brain bits.
As pornography consumption escalates, the consumer has a whole new set of problems because porn impacts the brain like a drug. Porn, again, they're probably not wrong, but not in the way that they intend to be right.
Yeah.
Which is anything. Hey, behavior analysis stuff. If you do a thing that causes you joy and releases dopamine into your brain bits, you're more likely to engage in that behavior again. And that is very similar to how drugs work.
Drugs just like override the input, so it and just like makes the dopamine come up directly.
Yeah, it's just more intense. So they're not wrong. This is what porn does, but it's also what running does. Like when you get like a runner's high and you run a lot. It's what competitive sports do to you. It's why
also what is happening right now because we are having fun. Like are they saying
anything that you do that causes any amount of pleasure is acting like a drug.
Including oxygen deprivation.
Mm-hmm.
Like last time I checked, like sex also, like having sex with someone also did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even if you love and have been with them for a long time. Stupid website.
So again, they're being very sneaky with their words here. Because they're not wrong. That sentence isn't wrong.
No,
but it's not what they. It's not what it's. It's not really what it is.
It goes back to what I said before. Like they're not trying to be forthright about their misrepresentation. They're just hoping that you'll draw the same conclusion they did.
Yeah. Porn
it's
can be addictive.
Hive mind, kind of.
Yeah. Porn can be addictive, and addiction damages the part of the brain that helps people think things through and make good decisions. The brain's limit-setting system. For more than 10 years, studies have shown that drug addictions can cause the brain's frontal lobe to start shrinking. While frontal lobe sounds really technical, basically it's the part of the brain that controls logical problem-solving and decision-making.
And also a whole lot of other things.
Yeah.
That's
not how your brain works. It's
like
your brain isn't a...
Like your frontal lobe is like pretty big part of your brain. Like that's
hey, that's the front part of your brain.
It is in the front part.
No, I meant okay. I didn't mean it like an idiot saying that's the front part of your brain, dumbass. I literally front part, like most of the front of your brain is frontal lobe.
Well, only the outside of the front.
Decent. Isn't it like the size of your fist or some shit?
I don't remember what size the frontal lobe is, but
I mean, it's only the outer parts. It's only the cortex and some of the underlying matter. When you get deeper in, it stops being a frontal lobe.
Surface area that covers. That's a good That's a decent sized section.
Well, yeah, and like things like part of your part of one of the centers that is involved in like producing words is also in your frontal lobes. So are they saying like that if you watch a lot of porn, you can't get trouble speaking?
You know, that would actually be an interesting prediction.
That doesn't mean it checks off a lot.
Yeah. That would be interesting. There's a workable prediction that if people who watch more porn should have
a face
speech
here.
difficulties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should have a face here.
Yeah, because it affects the frontal lobe, like they, they say it does. But again, that's not how any of that works. So
No.
Yeah, that would be true, assuming that anything that they were saying made sense.
yeah, and again with the
Although-
addiction thing, I mean, they're not
Yeah.
wrong about addiction. Like that's more or less how addiction works. But
Well, like they're generalizing this to everyone instead of just people who have who have problematic porn consumption.
yeah, and anything can become addiction, including healthy sex. What they would consider healthy heterosexual married couple sex can also be addicting. Like there's nothing that's not out of the equation just because it's a married couple or whatever.
There are like couples who like are essentially both addicted to having sex and have it like so often that it starts to interfere with the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Like, but you're not seeing them rag on that.
No, because that's whatever godly. And I know you're not saying godly. I think you're doing a great job at hiding the fact that you're not religious, but I can tell.
I have a feeling that these people have a second website that has essentially all of this, just replacing it with like video games.
I mean, you honestly could.
Yeah,
you honestly
like
could. Video game consumption escalates. The consumer has a whole new set of problems because video game impacts the brain like a drug. Yes.
Video games can be addictive, and addictive damages the part of the brain that helps people think through to make good decisions.
Yeah.
The brain's limit setting system. For more than 10 years, studies have shown that drug addiction. Actually, hold on. Drug addiction, like just because porn acts like have some of the same effects on the brain as a drug, you can't then use drug addiction, like actual drug addiction, as an argument for saying that porn is bad.
I don't see why not.
I mean,
yeah, no, they're making quite the leap. They really are.
Like, look. Like one of the look at this. Look at what the actual study they're referencing is. Prefrontal and temporal gray matter density decreases in opioid dependency.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
They're conflating two things and assuming that you're going to be like, oh, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Those are the same. One of these things is like the other.
Like they're trying to take the fact that there are studies that demonstrate that porn has some effect on the brain and that porn addiction is a thing, and like basically using they're essentially trying to scare you away from porn because you can get addicted and it's gonna melt your brain.
Yeah, this is the loosest connection of like these words sound similar, therefore the whole thing is identical.
This is
melt your brain. What do they think porn fucking is? Fucking Chernobyl?
Like this is essentially the equivalent of those old drug PSAs with the with the pan and the egg.
Here's your brain without porn. Here's your brain with porn.
For some reason, I have a very, very hot pan that instantly fries an egg, and I'm just waving around because I'm on drugs too.
Oh goodness!
I mean, that was your brain on drugs, though. I mean, come on. So is that it, or is there more to learn?
No.
All of these are pretty short snippets.
Well, I mean, they did say that this was an overview. I think they do have actual articles we can go look at.
But I am going to
applaud. Oh, what? Check out the name of the first link.
NoFap survey from Reddit. Oh no!
Okay, you have to go to the website now.
72% of the people were trolling like a motherfucker. Whoa, you. Okay.
What?
What do you mean?
Okay, wait up.
our SnellFap survey results. This is super scientific, and I love it.
Okay,
Yes.
so they have a Google Docs spreadsheet.
That is amazing. This is amazing. I'm loving this.
The survey seems to have been a big success. Because it scored a lot of points.
And it was on Reddit, so you know it wasn't trolled at all.
No one would troll anything on Reddit.
Especially
Nobody
not
would be a dick.
especially not like they especially wouldn't troll people in r/nofap.
For real.
Oh no, yeah,
No,
they're
but-
super nice to the
Yeah.
no
they don't
fap
make
community.
fun of them.
No, they would never. That just seems mean and uncalled
I love
for.
the rules. Don't post porn and sexualized media.
Check out the statistics of question 2.
Oh. Why am I not surprised?
Okay. So far for representative regarding population statistics.
Question 4. What differences about yourself how other people act around you? Because people can tell if you're jacking off or not.
I love how one of the rules is avoid religious or anti-religious speech, and one of the subsets is a better connection with God, spiritual, or better spirituality. I think it's in that. Yeah, better relationship with God / better spirituality.
Oh yeah, I was just reminded. I haven't actually told you of how I found this site.
I don't want to know.
Oh, that sounds
really
like
want to
I
want
wanna
to
know.
so bad.
Me and Pasta were watching more Paul and Morgan videos,
Oh, I love those two.
and they had an anti-porn video, and this site was one of the ones linked in there, so you can thank Paul and Morgan for this.
Paul and Morgan, you are the best. Also, you guys should be having more sex, Paul and Morgan, or any sex.
No. Paul should go off and accept that he's probably gay.
He probably is gay. That is true.
Guys, don't out people on stream. That's bad taste.
What?
Please don't take anything we've said to heart.
What is ED?
Erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
So
okay.
not well. How would you know?
yeah. You've never tried. Well, I don't. I mean,
Yeah, I guess that's just a statistical artifact.
don't lie, guys. You've had an unwanted before.
Also, how would that work? How would not? How
We
would that?
surveyed 44 guys with ED and asked them what not jacking off has done for their ED. That study would make no sense.
Oh goodness.
So this is the hard hitting scientific research they rely on. Great.
All the facts. All the facts.
Sexual tastes are molded by an individual's experience, mainly what they eat, but experiences and their culture. Their tastes are acquired and then wired into their brain. We are unable to distinguish our second nature from our original nature because those two are definitely things. Because
one of them is definitely
What
not
is-
just a saying people use.
yeah. Because our neuroplastic brain. That's a hard word to say. Neuroplastic brains, once rewired, develop a new nature every bit as biological as our original. Well,
They make it sound like it's a fucking circuit board. Like you're just gonna rip shit off the pads and just resolder it somewhere else. Are you?
Yeah, they don't seem to understand that software is a thing. And I think it's quite. Is
So
it valid to use this analogy?
I'm very confused all around.
We
Why
know.
is one set of experiences more biological or equally biological than an old set of experiences? Like,
Because in one instance you're having sex with the sex robot from Japan, and in the other one you're jacking off the porn you saw on the internet. So, oh, man.
I don't know. Okay,
6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I mean, who really gives a shit?
it's true.
It's all the same. Okay, so in a 2012 survey of 1,500 males, 56% of them said that their tastes in porn had become increasingly extreme or deviant. The more porn they watch. This happens because a consistent porn consumer's brains quickly become accustomed to the porn they've already seen. So basically, you're growing an immunity to blowing loads after 3 strokes to the missionary position.
How dare people explore their sexuality?
I know.
I have to ask this again. How is this any different than like regular sex?
Yeah.
Like,
It's absolutely not.
Also, what?
what is a good question?
What is what? Yes, what is what?
What is what?
So they have to constantly.
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
They have to constantly be moving on to more extreme forms of pornography to get aroused by it.
Oh God! And another thing, check out the third link.
Paul from pornography to porno to porn. How porn became the norm.
Wait, what? Those are all synonyms. That's
Also it rhymes. What the fuck?
Oh my God!
Is that on purpose? That must be on purpose.
Wait, what?
It's a collection.
That's definitely on purpose.
Okay, so as a result, many porn users find themselves getting aroused by things that used to unsettle them or that go against their personal values or what they see. Here we go. It's values. It's because they're afraid that a dude might go watch some gay porn or something like that.
If it goes against their personal values, then
why would they watch it?
Like that speaks more to that they should probably either evaluate what they watch or evaluate their own personal values.
That's true.
Yeah, it's become an ethics debate.
Like as long as the porn they're watching is not interfering negatively with their lives, and that what they're watching doesn't require someone to do something illegal.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand.
As long as you're not jerking it in your office, it's fine.
Look, have a safe word.
Well,
unless
you're a porn star.
Yeah, unless it is your job to actually
jerk
it in the office.
Or like a sperm donor.
Yeah.
Wait, can you be sperm donor
or a
at the job?
sex celebrity?
No, you probably can't. I think there's like a set amount of period that has to be in between each donation, and at some point they're probably gonna say we already have more than enough sperm from you.
But let's finish reading this. Where was I at? Personal values. Okay, yeah. So as this happens, porn consumers often start to look for porn rather than real partners for intimacy and relationships. At the end of a long day, I pull up my laptop. I thumb over to Pornhub.
And the 9 of 10 cases hit the Apple sign.
I Netflix and chill with Pornhub all night, and if things are going right, hand goes down the pants, you feel me?
Why Netflix and chill when you can IMAX and climax?
Okay, all right. That was definitely better.
Also, I don't think this is let's say, okay, like, even if there is a subsection, which there probably is, who like where their porn usage like becomes negative, which it definitely is. That doesn't mean like every one of us.
No, that's exactly what it means.
It's the same problem as with every quote-unquote addiction, right?
Yeah.
Well, guys,
99% of all people drink a beer every now and then. But how many people actually become alcoholics?
Ask R&D.
Yeah.
R&D's like, let me ask the internet.
Yeah, internet. Hey, Google, what is the percentage of people who are alcoholics? Oh, Google didn't hear me. Sorry, I don't have an answer.
You have to speak more clearly. You're slurring your words.
Yeah, I am slurring my words. What percent of the population is alcoholic?
Fortunately, more than 7% of the American population aged 18 and up have a drinking problem. This is nearly 13.8 million Americans, and 8.1 million of them are alcoholic.
There we go. 7%.
Well, on the
That's
other
higher
hand,
than they would
this is
expect.
American alcoholic.
It is American alcoholic.
Drinking 2 thin beers every day counts as being an alcoholic.
It's true.
Speaking of beer,
That's just called a Wednesday over here. And even then, that's better beer.
Yeah, no. Oh, what was it? What was the thing?
The thing was the thing.
The thing was the thing. I forgot. I forgot what I was
he's
saying.
like a big yellow rock dude.
The thing. I forgot what I was saying. I was gonna say a thing. I forgot. It's fine.
Well, you know, stuff happened. So
It happened. It's fine.
Get it.
It's fine. It's fine.
The social cost of pornography.
Again, just don't do it in public, guys.
I told you, stop masturbating in fucking elevators.
That's yeah.
Yeah, you only ask people out for coffee in the elevator.
So far for pushing buttons.
That is an old school YouTube drama reference.
Oh no.
How
Let's
porn
not.
affects relationships.
It ruins them. Apparently, according to this website.
The moment you watch porn, your girlfriend leaves you, even if she doesn't know about it.
Because it turns out, the second you logged on to xvideos.com, she started seeing another man.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's probably justified considering, like, if that's your go-to site.
That's why I chose it. I chose it because of how white trash it is.
Yeah, and I continued that joke.
It is the whitest of trash.
Yeah, it is the trailer park of porn sites.
Yeah,
it's the trailer park in the middle of a swamp.
Yeah,
like it's low quality, often stolen.
Often. It's
like the Alibaba or Wish of porn sites.
It's the ass
Alibaba.
Oh, goodness. All right, sorry. Okay. Many young adults never have a chance to learn what a healthy relationship is like before porn starts teaching them its version, which is typically...
That is... Oh, hold on. That's not the fault of the porn. That's the fault of the parents. And, like, society.
It's true. It's true. If like we said earlier, if society weren't so fucking prudish about this shit, kids would probably maybe not learn about sex through porn and would maybe learn it from their parents or, you know, school counselor or in other healthy ways. So,
yeah. For example, let's see, by the priest.
That's sad because it's true. Which is typically filled with violence, domination, infidelity, and abuse. Since
Okay, like, I mean, yeah, there are subgenres of porn involving those things, but like,
no, it's all that. It's all that.
There's no porn where it's just like a consenting couple who are in love who like
No.
do it. Even like
that's some kinky shit right there, Micro. That's some kinky
oh no,
shit.
we're gonna have to age restrict the video.
Oh yeah.
Kinky.
So what's wrong with domination?
Oh.
What's wrong with being dominated on the weekends while you pound a six-pack? I don't get it.
Like do you understand? Like in most, like, I'm not gonna say there isn't porn out there where it's obviously someone has been forced into it. Like there's shady porn. Like I'm not gonna deny that there are problems in the industry and there are problems with like really fucked up shit.
Well, yeah.
But like it's not like that shit goes away just because you don't watch porn. But like, did you understand that the violence, domination, and infidelity and abuse in most porn is consensual? Like it's
yeah, it's oh
like
god,
like in the like
those adults are consenting to, like, it's not real.
yeah, the people in the like the so-called wife who cheats on her husband. Yeah, those two people aren't actually married in real life. They're actors.
Wait, you're telling me that they're not really in love, and now I am making... I don't know. There was a joke in there.
Don't you dare, Micro, to take my porn reality away from me. It's the same amount of disillusion that you get when you actually see that everything in Top Gear is staged.
Oh,
I don't
that
care
is
how
sad.
staged it is. I still love it.
That's sad.
Well, I used to.
Oh no, I'm mostly disappointed because I remembered that it's staged.
Now, here we go. Let's talk about Jeremy Clarkson for the next 2 hours.
That's
Talk
good,
about
right?
Hammond, who even remembers Richard Hammond?
I do.
Well, Richard Hammond. Richard
I
Hammond.
just-
All he remembers is wearing diapers.
You know, I just recently found out that Brian May from Queen and James May from Top Gear are like half brothers or some shit.
Oh,
Yeah, they're related.
that's neat.
Well, I always thought, you know, I always was like, well, they're British and their last name is May, and I was like, well, that's kind of
Wait a
kind
second.
of fucked up. That's like not racist, but that's like I'm just assuming that they have to be related because there's a million people named Smith here that don't have any
I'm
relationship.
pretty sure that Brian May is soon going to be replaced, though, by Boris Johnson.
In Queen?
No,
Should we explain it to him or wait until he finds out himself?
That's a European joke, and we're just gonna leave it at that.
Okay, good, because I don't get it.
Okay, Smelly.
just gonna admit
The prime
that one.
minister, of the UK, Theresa May, is also called May, and he
Oh,
also kind of
okay.
looks like James May, only like more female.
And,
Oh,
and
shit.
more robotic.
Well, you know, I used to think James May and Brian May had very similar hair. I was like, damn, they both have froze and their last name's May and they're British. They're obviously related. And then I looked it up and it turns out they are.
I now need to check this.
Yeah, man, fact check it. I did a couple of times.
Do you write Brian May with an I or with a Y?
It's M-A-Y. Oh, I-A-N.
Brian.
B-R-I-A-N. Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah, I'm
That
sorry.
was a
I
very
like-
weird
I was
word
like-
spelling of Brian.
I was like, May. I was like, I think it's only
Now-
spelled one way, man.
That's how Brian is spelled in like a fantasy novel.
B-R-Y-A-N.
Yeah,
It's Brian with M-A-Y.
that's like a Game of Thrones spelling of it.
Oh goodness, it's true.
I mean, if they can have a character called Kevin, they can also have like one called Brian.
Kevin. Kevin.
Game of Thrones had a Kevin?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, apparently they have the same father,
Yeah.
Harold
Yeah,
May.
they're half siblings.
And they didn't meet until they were 20 and 30.
Yeah.
So James May didn't actually know that his half brother was a rock star at this point. Before he met him.
His brother is one of the most famous people on Earth.
It's kind of amazing that they've both managed to become quite famous.
Yeah, and James May has been doing fucking magazine publications forever. I mean, he was fired for putting an Easter egg in his articles.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he was fired from. Oh, don't get me lying on the name of the publication, but he essentially wrote the first letter of each article was like a Easter egg, and it spelled out a sentence like "fuck the BBC" or some shit like that. Yeah, and they found out, and then they fired his ass. And then he worked for
so that's 2 out of 3 Top Gear moderators being fired by the BBC.
Well, I don't think it was the BBC.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was the parent company of whoever owned the magazine. But yeah, and I don't really know anything about Hammond the hamster because I really don't care. James May just has an interesting story, and who couldn't love Jeremy Clarkson, excluding the fact that he's probably a totally huge racist.
He is. He's a giant dickbag.
Yeah, but he's awesome.
Oh, have you ever like? Okay, so back in the day, Jeremy Clarkson, for some fucking weird reason, was hired by a video game magazine to do like video game reviews.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He still does voiceovers for Gran Turismo.
No. It wasn't car games. It wasn't racing games. It was random.
It was like normal games.
It was like random shit they gave him, and he spent like most of the article just saying things, ranting about things that had nothing to do with the game.
Love it.
It's such a shame that I missed him when he was in Nuremberg 2 years ago. Fuck.
Oh, on the track?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Gran Turismo 5 where you could race on their test
Yes.
track?
Yes.
Oh,
I
cool.
love that
No,
game.
the story is the following. The story is the following. For the Grand Tour, they actually visited some small places, some small villages in southern Bavaria, and then they decided to drive to the Nürburgring. And the Grand Tour episode, well, they kind of fucked up and used the German GPS system wrong because it had voice commands, and it directed them to Nuremberg because similar names. And they ended up at the former rally grounds, which is today actually a racetrack, which they didn't acknowledge. So yeah, that's a thing.
Where were we? Oh, here.
There's a question.
Did Gran Turismo 5 have a PC release?
I don't think so.
That's a fucking shame. I just looked. It's not on Steam. I just looked.
Speaking of fucking shame.
Yeah, back to the porn thing. I almost forgot what we were covering.
Oh,
Since
we're
most
terrible.
people aren't too excited. Since most people aren't too excited about the idea of being in an abusive relationship, the sexual education that youth have gotten from porn makes it hard for them to connect with real romantic partners when they're ready, and they find themselves unable to be turned on by anything other than images on the screen.
I have never met anyone.
I am really curious about what study you got this from. Person.
Yeah, I have never met anyone who would like prefer like watching something on a screen to like actual sex where there's like more senses involved and it's in 3D.
Yeah, no.
And it's like with a person. What they're essentially saying is that these people if they walk down the street and see a hot girl, they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. I would be turned on, but she's not on the screen.
Yeah.
Hold on,
She's not 12 guys begging this very tiny framed girl. I have to go home.
Hold on, I have a cardboard cutout of a phone here. If I hold it up and squint, maybe it looks like she's in it.
Look, we can have sex, but I need you to do it behind the 16:9 framed image.
And it's like when children like play television where they have like a cardboard box.
You just got it over your head.
With like a crudely drawn knob
With crayons.
No.
Definitely with crayons. Like all of it drawn with crayons.
Oh no, what he does is he uses one of those VR visors, but instead of putting his phone in it, he just opens up the hatch.
Did I ever tell you guys the story that happened to me at Gamescom a few years ago?
No.
Okay, so there's this big electronic expo every year in Cologne called Gamescom.
Yeah.
I was there in 2015, and the area is just gigantic.
It smells horrible.
It's about, I don't know, maybe half a square kilometer of mess area. And since I didn't have a plan of the individual mess halls, I kind of accidentally stumbled in the hall where they sold like those weird enemy pillows things.
Oh, body pillows.
Yeah, and I kind of went in there.
Come on,
My eyes popped out of my sockets, and I turned around and pretty much ran outside because the shit in there was just so fucking disturbing for me.
Oh man, I would have loved to walk around there. Just been like, could you tell me about your product? And let them awkwardly explain to me what each one of those terrible products were. I need you to explain this to me like I'm in the 5th grade. I need you to be real detailed.
You know, the special polymer makes it easier to clean out everything that you've...
So this one, is it machine washable?
Yeah, but tell me what it does. What can I do with it? Okay, so where did we stop? Okay, I think as people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible. All I heard was ass people and not.
Well, ass people exist. There are
Fair
blue people and ass people. Some people are leg people.
You mean like Ben
There's
Affleck?
people and ass people. It's so people.
What?
That needs to be the name of this stream.
What?
There are
Ass
blue people and ass people, and some people are black people.
I didn't say black. I said leg.
Oh, I thought you said. I was like,
Some people are black.
turn. What a beautiful.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay, as people get older and get into relationships, porn promises a virtual world filled with sex, more sex, and better sex. What it doesn't mention, however, is that the further a consumer goes into the fantasy world, the more likely their reality is to become just the opposite of what porn promised. Studies show that porn often leads to less sex and less satisfying sex, and for many users, porn eventually means no sex at all.
Hold on. Have you ever seen ever seen porn that promised that this is how the real world works?
So there's this ancient German meme, right, about a bad porn movie, and it's basically a dialogue between I don't know, it was an electrician or so and a housewife. He says something like, "Why is there fucking hay laying all around this area?" And she's like, "I don't know. Why are you wearing a mask?" And he said, "Okay, blow me." So yeah, that's definitely realistic.
Well, if porn was how it really is, people would be fighting to get pizza and plumber jobs. Everyone would want to be a fucking plumber and a pizza.
My favorite part is the fact that there's porn is full of sex, and it's more sex and better sex. Well, of course it's full of sex. It's porn.
Do you guys remember?
Of course, it's
movie?
full of people who are having good sex, no one is gonna watch people having a bad 3-minute like fuck where he comes and she does, and then they like roll over and don't talk. Like, what is this? that's like
Not from personal experience.
Yeah, I was about to say, Michael, maybe you should just stop
Yeah,
talking
like,
The
before you
story came
embarrass
out so
yourself.
fluidly, as if it
This
were
is like
fiction.
this is like complaining like that. Oh, whenever I watch football on television, they're always so good. Well, yeah, it's their job.
This ain't realistic. She didn't roll over and nag about how I didn't mow the lawn. Totally.
Do you guys remember the porn scene in The Big Lebowski?
I remember the scene where he sort of trips out, and it's like bowling / chicks.
Yeah.
short
No,
skirts.
the one before. It was about a cable man. Lock jamming. No?
No,
No, I need to watch that movie again. And you guys as well.
it's been a good while since I've seen that movie, and yes, I will watch it. I love that. I used to love
Remember,
that.
he fixes the cable. Seriously? You uncultured swines.
Yes.
Would you like another picture of my Mac?
No.
Nobody wants a picture of your Mac.
I call him a Big Mac sometimes.
Is that because you also have an iPhone?
What?
Tiny dick joke.
Oh.
Yeah, regarding that micro, I need that electron microscope back. The university is starting to ask questions.
I can't keep telling them that you're looking at slime in your water samples, bro. Eventually, they're gonna know you're looking for your dick.
yes, I'm put. Yeah, and the moment I find it, I realize, oh shit, I have to put this in a vacuum for it to work.
Yeah, why do you think his channel name is Microblogganism?
Micro, this isn't about the actual use of the tool.
Yeah, again, why do you guys think that his channel name is Microblogganism?
Yes, I don't know
It's a
that
jelly
either.
cube. Everyone calls Dick the second head. I get it now. Conspiracy confirmed.
Oh.
Like, are you gonna? Like, I feel like in a moment you're gonna start gaslighting me, like about my dick size.
We already have.
Micro. Picks get the fuck out. That's all we're saying.
Oh.
Dicks out for micro.
Dicks out for micro. Exactly.
Oh no. Oh, my sides are hurt.
So how porn affects relationships. All right. So, and I'll read this one since it's short. In one of the most comprehensive studies on porn consumption ever conducted, researchers found that after being exposed to softcore sexual material, both men and women were significantly less happy with their partner's looks and sexual performance. Studies have also shown the porn consumers have reported feeling less love for their partner or spouse compared to those who don't consume porn. Huh.
That seems to be more a problem in their relationships than with the porn itself.
Yeah.
Like,
It feels like the explanation of a sample size of one.
well, I'm not like they do say it's a big comprehensive study. Also, like, how do they like? I'm curious how these studies factor in couples who watch porn together.
See, I don't think it actually does. I think it's a kind of exclusionary, like good
I
old-fashioned.
want to point out that this study is from '88.
Holy shit! That was 30 years ago, 31 years ago.
I'm gonna hazard a guess and say it might not be super relevant anymore.
Are you saying the times changed and the culture plays a big impact on how we view sexuality?
No.
Well, but
I would
it's
never
also,
suggest such a thing.
this is just an example. If this is true and this is outdated information and there is more recent study that is more comprehensive and a better representation of what they were trying to achieve there, this would be kind of like creationists using Piltdown Man as a way to discredit science. You know, it's just it's taking something old that made something look either good or bad, given the situation I just laid out, and using it as evidence going forward, regardless of the.
Okay, we keep seeing this, like the social cause of pornography, a collection of papers from the Witherspoon Institute. Let's look up what the Witherspoon Institute
Princeton, New
is.
Jersey. I bet you it's not associated with Princeton, the university.
You don't say.
Oh,
Oh,
what
it
a
is.
surprise! The Witherspoon Institute is a conservative think tank.
Oh, I thought we were apolitical and not religious at all.
And it's run by conservative Robert P. George, who is a professor at Princeton University. So they're using that guy's clout. They're clout chasers, bro. If we're going to go all like Supreme Dude Bro on the terminology.
What the fuck's it? Chuang-Ching?
Shen Guangxing. Okay, so the Witherspoon
he's
Institute
a
announced the. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
They
he's a
exchanged
lot.
the fellow and a bunch of shit.
Yeah, he's a lot. He is. Yeah, he's just a member of him. He's just like a famous member of it.
Yeah.
Financially independent from Princeton University, the donors have included the Bradley Foundation.
Go back.
Oh,
Go over to the tab real quick.
look, restore. Their mission is to restore, strengthen, and protect the principle of and institutions of American exceptionalism.
Oh my god, so they're probably a bunch of xenophobes. Hey, wait up. Institute, the Ragnarus study, right there, about him. Okay, so let's see what this study was. Controversial. Oh, they did the new family study, structure study that was supposed to be like a stab at the LGBT parenting.
Oh, so yeah, they seem trustworthy.
They seem like a great bunch of folks.
Yeah, that's a good source.
That's dinner party material.
They definitely wouldn't collect cherry-picked papers and include it in their collection of papers.
God doesn't make their decisions.
They're definitely like we can definitely expect to get like a fair review, an article that takes like all the available material within this field into account. Yeah, they're. And I'm just totally not being sarcastic right now.
Yeah, neither was I. Can I just point out right now that there is a hot and steamy debate about hentai going on in our chat right now.
Oh,
And
Is it really? That sounds way more interesting than.
It's hilarious. I can't tell if I haven't read all of it because it's like, ugh.
I'm going there now to see.
Okay, what's the worst thing we're gonna see?
This is all pretty tame shit. Come
Yeah,
on,
it's-
guys, get with it. Get with it.
I expected some, porn talk. Hey, cool. Right on. Preference talk. Hey, man, go right ahead. But I didn't expect to see hentai. Now, I'm not saying that I didn't not expect it, but,
We do have R&D in here.
Yes.
Hey, man, I love y'all preferences. No matter what it is. Don't care.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, maybe don't say the word preferences and then say I love it all. I don't care.
I meant to say I love all of y'all for what y'all
Like regardless of our preference.
don't kill nobody.
I
Smelly's
know
gonna
what
say
you mean, but it makes it sound like fuck it. I'm into everything.
I've turned over a new leaf, guys. I'm into literally everything.
All right, let's see. What's next? How porn affects society. Oh, this is gonna be great. Okay, I love this because I found a bunch of studies because there was some asshole on Twitter who was all about this, and I found some studies on this a bit ago.
Well, I'm gonna read, and you can interrupt me if you have something to say. A few years ago, we're not gonna say when, A research team looked at the most popular porn films for research purposes.
Actually, it should be for academic purposes
Research.
because then the acronym is better.
Oh, that's good. That's good. The ones brought and rented the most. I have a feeling this wasn't a few years ago.
Rented films. I bet they were on VHS.
Yeah. From that group, they randomly selected 50 and analyzed them. Of the 304 scenes, the movies contained 88% contained physical violence. On top of that,
It is a high percentage.
49 contained verbal aggression. Okay, that's just. I think that's just their word for dirty talk.
Probably.
Yeah, they probably take it seriously.
Again, like people do weird shit when they have sex. Things they would
Yeah.
that would you normally wouldn't do or say in any other social interaction, but
And
it's
you know-
consensual.
The funny thing is, though, is they're acting like this is a new thing. Like the perversion has been sort of like ever since people started like, hey,
Humans
that
are
wasn't
fucking
there, sweet.
Humans are weird, pervy animals.
Yeah, we're fucking weird. We're
It just-
all very, very strange.
There seems to be correlation between intelligence and fucked upness. I mean, just take a look at those fucking dolphins. They are up to something, definitely.
They're definitely plotting the end of mankind.
So long and thanks for all the fish.
In total, only one scene in 10 didn't contain any aggression, and the typical scene averaged 12 physical or verbal attacks.
How many of which, though?
Okay, I need a definition. Like, does a spanking, like, someone count as a physical attack?
Oh, I
Probably.
bet.
One scene managed to fit in 128 attacks. We're not told how long the scene lasted, though. It is
Yeah, and we're
important.
also not told what constitutes as a physical or verbal attack.
It is important to note that the majority of physical and verbal acts in these scenes were directed at women. Viewing this type of dehumanizing content not only normalizes dominance and abuse, but it also connects these acts to love and intimacy, and can set the stage for eventual acceptance of violence and aggression, both in relationships and as normal and accepted behavior in society.
Look,
So-
I would be willing to eat a fucking shoe if the owner of this website doesn't have a gimp suit and a sex swing in his elaborate sex dungeon underneath his very modern colonial house.
Even better, it's probably underneath his child's bedroom.
Right?
Oh.
I want
I'm
to
saying-
hear this.
I'm not saying like, but no, I'm not saying that he like involved the child in any way. That's what I'm insinuating. I'm just saying it's probably so big he's had to build it under the child's bedroom as well.
Nah, secretly deep down, he wants his son to know who's boss.
But like these are just people who don't understand BDSM or like sub-dom.
Just anything outside of conventional missionary
Yeah,
sex.
like if it's not like having like doing missionary like through a hole in a sheet. Like
Oh my god, commit Congress like a fucking Hasidic Jew. Oh, honey, I hope you have the sheet right.
oh, what
In the
a
background,
surprise!
Laura's playing.
Look what we have again.
Yeah.
It keeps popping up. I think that is just going to be. I mean, look at it, and it sort of lends its own undeserved credence by putting the word Princeton, by putting where it's located first, because in
Yeah,
the
it's giving the address.
Yeah, what?
Yes.
But they're clearly trying to like
But in a weird,
Yeah, they're trying to
invoke the fact
to make it appear as if this came from Princeton University or however
but
the
in
fuck
fact
this
it
institution is
has
called.
nothing to do with it, other than the fact that there are a few people that
Yes,
overlap.
exactly.
And it usually would be stated when Witherspoon Institute, Berkeley, Princeton, New Jersey. It would be the institute, then its location, if they were going to do it that way.
Yeah, that's just 50 Shades of Shady.
I see what you did there.
I
Very
did.
good. Hey, here's a golf clap for that one. That's a good one.
Like, also, like the fact that most of it was directed at women. I mean, that's because, like, in a lot, like, because of how our society is built, in most, like, in a, well, not most, but in a lot of soft-dom relationships, and BDSM relationships, it, like, the man is usually the dominant part. That has not, like, that's just and it's a natural, it's probably also a natural outcome of the fact that, like, men tend to be the one who watch porn more.
I hear a mechanical keyboard.
Always
Yeah,
mechanical.
I'm trying to type slow and very soft, but it's not working.
You're not.
It's very clicky. What is that?
For a moment,
This is a Techwear Phantom. Like, it's just a cheap one.
for a moment, I thought you were gonna say I was trying to type slut.
No, Dabor said I don't think it's BDSM thing in this case, and I just was responding that, like, I think you're just using that as like an extreme case of, like, somebody being physically harmed during a sexual act, which it's consensual.
I'm essentially trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and saying that it, like, because there are some, like, sexualities and some sexual acts that involve some things that, like, outside of a consensual, like, relationship would be considered quite fucked up.
But he does make a good point, though. He was saying he really just thinks it's defined as any degree of physical pain or physical forceful or being forceful physically is violence.
I would also agree with that. I was just trying to give them, like, the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So, what do all your studies say?
So there was a couple of studies on this. One was in Japan, and the other one was, I think, in the States. And I was trying to find them again, but I put this on Twitter. That pretty much, like, all of this is bullshit. Like, there isn't any correlation between abuse and the amount of pornography that's actually consumed by people. Like, those aren't actually correlated. Like, there's a good chance that this study is correct and that those things actually happened in the porn films that they saw. Yeah. But that doesn't actually correlate with the actions of humans outside of those videos.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying video games make you violent.
Yeah. It's a video games make you violent argument.
Yeah. Which is what it felt like this whole time.
I mean, also, like, I mean, you would also turn it around, like, there's no reason to think that the porn is, like, that the porn was the cause of this and not the other way around.
Yeah. Then that's another,
expect people who are naturally violent and aggressive and dominating, like, in a non-sexual, like, in a non-like consensual way, that these people would also watch, like, things that are like this. Like, I mean, this is just, they're really just cherry picking and, like, they just say, come out and say it. We think we don't like porn. Like,
well, but look, and I understand the sort of, while I don't agree with it, I understand the sort of tactic they're taking here. Like, I get why they're doing it this way, and again, I don't think it's a proper or appropriate way to approach subjects such as this, because they're kind of minimalizing it by giving these weird synopses that don't really portray the information correctly, or if it is, it's left up to some weird device wherein they insinuate other things. But of the websites we've seen that have sort of taken advantage of people's I don't want to say stupidity, but just
ignorance. Go with ignorant.
Well, I was just going to say vulnerable people. You know,
like,
even smart people can be tricked. You know, I think they're taking advantage of vulnerable people. You know, people kind of look down on themselves for having this issue.
They're taking advantage of like language.
Exactly, and I feel like anybody who does legitimately have a problem with, you know, sexual urges or masturbation or whatever, and I'm not saying, you know, gay people that are fighting the fact that that's real or whatever. I'm talking about people that are fighting with real syndromes and like real issues.
Yeah, like
this minimalizes
negatively affecting their lives.
Exactly, and it minimizes that entire issue and sort of makes it seem like, oh, well, you could just stop, and it's only ruining your life because you watch pornography.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's ultimately this entire website. While it's very nicely done, it's essentially saying that it's minimizing it by saying that, like, making it seem like this is something that pretty much if everyone deals with, so you're perfectly normal. Just like this is what everyone experiences. You're just weak. Yeah.
Like, that's the natural conclusion someone in that situation would come from reading this.
And it's done with all these pop colors and little flash animations, and it's pretty harmful, ultimately. You know, assuming that people in that state of mind are the ones that are finding this, which I would feel like those are the ones that are finding websites like this. You know, ones that are trying to find answers for their ultimate issue at hand, and they come across shit like this that just makes them feel like it makes them either feel more insignificant about their problem, or it teaches them to think away about their problem to where it's like you can't do anything, you know, because you're just weak.
Yeah, Yella has a good point. Nobody's gonna pretend that watching porn when you should be working isn't a problem. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's gonna get to a point where they're just gonna think that anytime they want to have, I mean, I'm sorry, but wanting to watch porn over physical entanglement with another human being just seems like that's a whole subset of issues itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that seems like more of a detachment than it does something anybody.
And to be fair, those people do exist. There are going to be people who do have that. No.
And they need
sorry.
help.
Yeah, but that they do need help. Like, those people do exist, and I mean, you guys are right that they are pretending like anybody who watches porn are the people who do have these extreme cases of porn addiction and you know, disconnect between physical intimacy and connection with intimate objects, which does exist, where people are more connected with inanimate objects than they are with other people.
Yeah. Famously, a woman married the Eiffel Tower. Another woman married
Berlin Mall.
Ride.
Yeah. So these things do exist, and they're a real problem.
I heard about one that had a threesome with the Twin Towers. That did that well.
Oh.
That wasn't a threesome.
That wasn't actually that bad. I kind of thought that was good.
No, that wasn't. Hold on. That wasn't a threesome. That was a foursome. It involved 2 planes.
Oh.
Took it to a new level. All right, that's pretty good too.
No, I took it to a lower level. It collapsed.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Yo, he melted steel beams with his mind. In her vagina. Friction melted the steel beams.
Oh
no. All right. I feel like we just got way more deep than we should have.
We should, yeah.
Deep.
But seriously, anybody who's feeling like they need help, seek it out. It's
not just for this, like in general. If you feel like something in your life is like something you can't control and it's negatively affecting your quality of life or mental health or both, go get help.
Yeah, please don't resort to putting all your hope in a website unless it's the website for your nearest mental health professional. Like, please, and I don't mean that jokingly. I mean that.
Or a dealership for a jet ski, because I'm pretty sure that you can't be sad on a jet ski.
Property equals happiness.
There you go. That is one of the nice things about working in the field of psychology is that we take our mental health very, very seriously. And like my job gives us free counseling. They're like, anytime you need it, you get free counseling.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't cost them as much as to anybody else.
Yep.
I need 5 extra vacation days. No, we just prefer you go see the counselor.
We get a lot of vacation days too. Oh shit!
By the way,
fuck
RNG,
is
how's your
that?
concussion going? Is it better?
Is somebody
it's fine.
picturing a cat in R&D's background?
Sorry, no. Somebody rang the doorbell. That's what my doorbell sounds like.
Doorbell sounds
RNG,
like a
is
paper
your
shredder.
concussion better now?
Is my concussion better now? Yes, I can look at computer screens and I can like look around without getting dizzy immediately.
Good.
Great.
Yeah, so no, I am much don't get hit in the head. It sucks. All right. Sorry,
Someone read.
Someone read. Not me. I'm gonna go use the restroom. You're on your own.
Oh. Someone read.
From the beginning, where were we?
This is a new section.
This is a new one. Okay. For porn users, even those who manage to avoid violent material, it's difficult not to be influenced. Study after study has found that watching even non-violent porn is correlated with the consumer being more likely to use verbal coercion.
See,
Coercion?
I'm still wanting to know what their fucking definition of violent is. Like, I would really like to know. And I know that we keep harping on this, and we're just gonna say it's like anything that's like ass smacking or she has to be choked or whatever, because girls do ask for that.
Hey, shooting somebody with a crossbow counts as penetration as well. Just saying. Where was I? Coercion, drugs, and alcohol to coerce individuals into sex. And
Really, they use coercion to coerce people.
Yeah.
I
also-
thought you used coercion.
Coercion, rehypno.
And those who consistently consume non-violent porn are more likely to support statements that promote abuse and sexual aggression of both women and girls. Much of even non-violent porn portrays the power between partners, where men are dominant and in charge, and women are submissive and obedient.
Like, you don't realize that there are people who like that, who are into that, where it's consensual.
Yeah, it's also weird that those people who think that women only belong into the bedroom don't apparently understand what they can do in the kitchen.
You know, I've been holding back on saying that they're like porn isn't real and then somehow working a sandwich joke in there, but I've been laying off. I knew Geo was going to hit me with some good shit.
But I like the fact that, apparently, it's not that violent porn. Even non-violent porn makes you more likely to be aggressive. But how does that work?
I love how they're insinuating that only men want to participate in any form of, let's say, non-traditional.
Femdom definitely doesn't exist. No, that's not.
Oh yeah, that was just pointing. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, oh, that's not a thing. These people don't. Well, again, it's they're just excluding a whole bunch of shit and pretending like so many subsects of sexuality don't exist.
This is like.
Yep.
This is so. I knew this would be dumb and like cherry picking, but this is it's so blatant. Porn also teaches that intimacy is about men's pleasure, and women are there to be objects to satisfy the pleasure of men. What?
Well, it's saying porn teaches that.
Wait, yeah, but
it doesn't.
Okay, wait. Porn also often teaches that intimacy is about men's pleasure. Don't they know that lesbian porn exists?
Well, there's that. Femdom exists. They're also I have a feeling that most heterosexual men would prefer to watch porn where the woman also orgasms. I feel like that's
you're living it by proxy. You feel like you're the one that's doing it.
That's
sort of like you're vicariously living through that.
Otherwise, most porn would just be some guy fucking a blow-up doll. In case they haven't noticed, like the porn movies for men tend to focus on women. Like porn for heterosexual men tend to focus on women and like the women enjoying it in some way.
Yeah, like Dabler just said, lesbian porn is most popular with most heterosexual males.
Yeah, and fun fact, male gay porn is quite popular among straight women.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
They feel the same sort of sexual intonations that we do towards two women. I mean, it's literally the same phenomenon, just on the other side of the track.
Yeah,
But again, like I said earlier, it's this website pretending like certain sexuality, preferences don't exist. The people that made this website that is on the internet have never been on the internet.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why when I tweeted out the link, the promotion thing, that this stream was happening. Like I said, that we would be taking a look at the least 30 porn-related site on the internet, and I was right. This is even I'm pretty sure even reading an academic paper on porn is more stimulating than this.
Oh, I bet.
Well, you would know.
I would know. They are sexy. Those peer-reviewed journals.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Gets them off faster than furry sex.
What is he, Miles Power?
Wait, did I miss something here? What?
Miles Power gets accused of being a furry all the fucking time.
There's a running gag that he's a furry.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
And a redhead. So
it was on their podcast.
Yeah, so the main running gag at this point is that his persona is a red fox, because there's also the running gag of him being a redhead.
I miss that fucking podcast more than any other podcast.
Yeah, it was fun.
So good. It was the best way to blow off doing work at work. That was the best hour of my day, man.
What do you mean? Do you mean you gain pleasure from something on the internet?
Oh, you're obviously gonna get addicted. It's just like a drug.
My girlfriend's gonna leave.
Like a drug.
He is addicted. Look, didn't you hear him?
Yeah, that's true.
He misses that more than anything.
I bet you would listen to that podcast rather than have intimate sex with somebody.
I would listen to that podcast with a big old bottle of Jergens and a fresh box of Kleenex.
It's just like Viagra in sound form.
James's voice, bro. I don't know.
For a moment, I thought you were gonna go with Buck's voice.
Oh my god! You know what? I should have. I was going to, but I was like, nobody would ever believe anyone would find that voice sexy.
Are you kidding me?
I'm kidding. That was a Buck burn. Get it? Because he was always super self-deprecating.
Well, he is in real life as well.
Dude, he doesn't do his little podcast anymore, does he?
I think no. He changed over to something else. I can't remember. I'm not sure if he still does that.
Guys, in a few minutes, I'll have to change to Jared's Hangout. So
that's fine.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
we got a few minutes left of the thing anyway.
Yeah.
Wait,
we're gonna end on time because I think we've pretty much exhausted
Yeah.
We were exhausted, and not only our laughing muscles are now bruised.
So, I think this is probably the last of the little things we'll be reading.
Little things. Sorry, I'm gonna make micro penis jokes all the fucking time today. That's your fucking fault for choosing the topic.
Okay, So
Oh,
would
this
you?
is a fun one because this is actually this I think might get us into a conversation.
Oh,
Would
We
you
only have
support-
6 minutes. That's the thing.
Okay, let's 6-minute this conversation. Just pretend it's your girlfriend. Would you support?
I said 6 minutes. Not 3. What the hell?
That's a sad view into our marriage there.
You can't do that. Oh, come on. You got to be a little bit self-deprecating.
Yeah. Okay. Would you
I
support?
made fun of Buck. I had to make fun of myself to make up.
Okay. Would you support a business if you knew that they abuse some, but not all of their employees?
Well,
Anybody who buys anything
all of them.
that is yeah, that's late stage capitalism.
Yeah, like,
I was about to say
anyone who
every fucking company somehow in one way or another abuse their fucking employees. Just take a look at fucking Foxconn. They're one of the biggest producers of consumer grade electronics on the planet, and their solution to the increased suicide rate among their workers was actually to install fucking nets under the windows of their factories.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was Foxconn. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I remember reading about that.
Yeah, they're producing like computer parts for mainly Apple, Samsung, Microsoft, pretty much everybody who makes laptops or smartphones.
You're going to try to jump off our building? Well, here's a trampoline to have fun on whenever you're on your way down.
Okay.
Yeah, try to land not neck first, so we don't have to pay your fucking family 200 yuan.
Oh, their severance pay must suck.
What severance payment?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same question.
Also,
I was gonna make a terrible joke about having their head severed when
Yeah,
they
I
hit
was about to say, and in this case, severance was probably literal.
Yeah, sorry, but the award for the worst joke today is already mine.
It's true.
No, you can't
Geo.
do that.
Every worst joke
You weren't
of
he-
the day
You
is
weren't
yours.
here. Andy, you weren't here for when he made that joke. That was before we went on air, and we're not repeating it because.
Oh, okay. This is the Two Towers one. Okay.
No, it was much worse. Much
Oh, it was
worse.
worse than that. Okay. I didn't get a chance.
Okay.
Got it.
It was
Keep
beautifully
reading.
horrific.
Keep reading.
Okay. Pornographers don't want you to think about it, but even in some of the humiliation, degrading, and sexual violence you see in porn is casual. Some is consensual. Some is not. Again, like not to degrade from the horrors of what happens in the porn industry, because I'm sure that that shit happens just like happens in every other industry, because capitalism is a thing. So in the same way
more like humans are a thing.
That's probably true.
Well, I'm sure this doesn't just. I mean, of course, I'm not going to sit here and say that women aren't assaulted or probably treated worse more than the men are, because I'm pretty sure that's probably true, that they're assaulted and treated worse more often. But it's like you just said, is that a product of porn itself or just society? Because I mean, think about it. Old Hollywood, actors made fucking nothing. It wasn't until people started paying to see movies that actors started getting wages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if people would stop watching porn for free and pay for the shit, which I'm not trying to sit here and advocate for paying for porn or anything.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen anyways.
We're not advertising porn.
In the 70s, maybe, where you would buy the stuff at the back door of a fucking Blockbuster.
In the 70s, you went out into and found a bush somewhere, like out in.
You snuck into your dad's garage and you stole his little Playboys and you hid them under your bed.
That's true.
Just like what R&D does with papers.
It's true. I do have a stack of like peer-reviewed research under my bed.
And his wife's reading the bed, sitting up. She's nice.
If my wife ever finds that stack, it's over.
It's from
Does
Hollywood.
that mean that your wife never cleans your bed?
Look at those p-values.
Oh, p-values,
Oh.
baby. Oh.
Let me see that t-test, baby. Let me see that t-test.
Is that on a Nova?
Oh, no.
Oh, look at the way they structured that abstract.
Oh.
Oh fuck! They even corrected for multiple comparisons.
Oh, their sample size was double what it should have been.
It's important to
They really
understand.
went the extra mile.
It's important to understand that not like the sample sizes you see in peer-reviewed literature, like that they are not bigger than the average.
Oh, all right. Oh, all right.
Everything in those papers is all natural as well.
Yeah.
None of that anal gate bukkake shit. None of that. I mean, shit. We're talking about peer review papers. My bad.
Okay. RD never gets to read the conclusion.
It's like I mean this is basically true. Like you read the abstract, a bit of the introduction, and then you jump straight to maybe a bit of discussion, and then you jump straight to conclusion.
Who even needs the fucking conclusion? Everybody's done by halfway through the body of the first paragraph.
No. That's how you mostly read scientific papers.
I'm aware.
All right.
Well,
That is insane.
I don't know. My sides hurt.
Show.
My sides hurt. My everything hurts.
I was expecting 10% more sexual innuendo, though.
10% of innuendos.
It's 10% in my endo.
10 inches of innuendo.
Yeah, I'm still in favor of renaming this hangout to "I don't want a new drug."
Well, we have to name it something like we have to keep the actual name and go with something additional special. We could just call it the innuendo special.
It's true.
I'll call it innuendo.
Oh.
That's a good one.
In your endo edition.
Yeah. I understood.
You understood. I was just.
Why are you repeating the joke?
Listen here.
Oh no. All right. Oh, I think we might have hit the 2 hours, and I gotta go make cold dinner.
You gotta go make a cold catheter.
Cold catheter.
That's what it sounded like.
Wait, cold?
Cold.
Wait, if it's cold, you might want to go see a doctor.
If you have an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, be waiting for divorce papers.
So this was a thing.
This was a thing. It was fun.
Now I'm kind of looking forward to actually reading all the studies and doing like a proper hangout.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to sit down and read some of these. Have them all saved, so it'll be a good time.
Oh, I bet you're looking forward to that.
Oh no. Oh, too much.
Well, that was fun. Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye,
Have a
guys.
good night.